Hello, my name is John Johnson, and welcome to MCB News. Tonight, we have some breaking news out of the election. The election, of course, I'm talking about is one for the best cheap burrito place in the United States. It seems that the outsider that no one thought had a chance to win this election, Moe's, has just won the state of Florida. Chipotle, who was predicted to win the election from all our outside sources, Chipotle, who's predicted by our experts to be the outright winner, seems to be on the losing side. We are getting reports of E. coli meddling in this election. For more on that, we go to our man on the scene, Matt Matthews.
Thanks, John. We're here at Chipotle Mexican Grill, a restaurant popular with the students here in Gainesville, Florida, where a recent outbreak of E. coli, Shiga-producing E. coli 026 infections appear to have originated from. Chipotle has now closed 43 restaurants in Washington and Oregon in early November, and we're waiting to see what happens here in Florida. The restaurant owners claim that nothing has been linked to them directly, and that their employees have not been contaminated, and that new safety procedures are being set in place to prevent anything like this happening in the future. The FDA has conducted searches and have not had a successful traceback to Chipotle, but they have not ruled them out as the cause. I'm here with Aubrey, a local Chipotle fanatic who is one of the several unlucky individuals to get stricken with this E. coli infection. She claims that Chipotle did nothing wrong and that this incident will not cause her to avoid this restaurant in the future. Aubrey, would you like to tell us about your experience throughout this incident?
Okay, so my experience with Chipotle is I got a chicken burrito from Chipotle, and then about 3 days later I started having really bad abdominal cramping, and then I also had a lot of diarrhea, and my diarrhea was also very bloody. So I thought, why not go to the doctor and get myself checked out? And the doctor made me do a stool sample, and the results came back that I had the E. coli 026 virus. But my friend was a lot more unlucky than me. I got it treated in about a week and a half with antibiotics. But she had a high fever, fatigue, pale skin, bloody mouth, and bruising. And she actually had HUS, which is a syndrome where the kidneys start to fail. And with that being said, I would just like everyone to know that Moe's is not my restaurant.
Thanks, Aubrey. Riveting story. Now back to you in the studio,
Thanks,
John.
Matt. After this break, we'll be back with Dr. Mike Hawk to talk more about this E. coli outbreak. Oh, Dr. Mike Hawk, thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this E. coli bacteria is really starting to freak some people out. So we're just going to come and talk to you about some of the properties and stuff like that of it. What are some of the defining features of E. coli?
E. coli has many distinct characteristics that define it. For one, E. coli is a gram-negative bacteria, meaning that it doesn't have a thick peptidoglycan wall. E. coli is also a facultative anaerobe that is rod-shaped and motile.
That's interesting, but how do you find these results when you look at this in the laboratory?
Oh yeah, great question. A gram stain can be performed on the E. coli bacteria.
That interruption. Back to what we were saying. You're talking about how to test for this the bacteria and how you find out these properties.
Yeah, great question. So regarding the gram stain can be performed on the E. coli bacteria to determine whether it is a gram-negative or gram-positive bacteria. E. coli being a gram-negative bacteria stains pink under a microscope. Also, when placed in an environment that is either oxygen deprived or oxygen present, there is growth in both environments, but growth in the oxygenic environment is better.
Okay, yeah.
And absolutely. And the rod shape, to determine that, the easiest way to do that is just place the bacteria under a microscope and you can just see the shape there. And for the motility aspect, the best way to perform that test is to perform a SIM test.
Oh, that's really interesting. But let's look on a larger scale. On the larger scale of what disease, what causes this disease? What are the causes of it? Where can it be found?
Yeah, absolutely. E. coli is caused by the consumption of the bacteria being found on contaminated food. Some of the most prevalent foods that E. coli bacteria can be found on includes ground beef, unpasteurized milk, and fresh produce. Also, contaminated water can harbor the E. coli bacteria.
All right, but then how do you treat this? How are we going to treat it when someone's infected?
Question. E. coli can be treated with the drug Avocare. Avocare is a synthetic nucleotide analog that inhibits reverse transcriptase, thus inhibiting the growth of E. coli.
That's awesome. All right, thank you for having us today. It was good talking to you.
Good talking to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hawk. That's some very interesting stuff from Dr. Hawk. When we come back, we're going to ask the question, do woodchucks Really, Chuck Wood?
Hey, you dang woodchucks! Quit chucking my wood!
Stay tuned. This is your local newscaster, John Johnson, just saying that everything you heard from this video is strictly educational, and all these accounts may have been real, but we're made up for purposes of education. Please don't sue us. Thank you.